Hi yogis, I have a special practice for you today, so please read this disclaimer, and when you're ready, meet me on your mat. We'll begin seated. So you're going to sit with your knees bent, your feet standing. Feel for your sit bones. Sit really tall on the floor with your spine straight. You can use your arms around your legs to help you kind of get some purchase to grow a little taller. And then slowly start to round just a little bit, just to kind of feel what's going on with the spine in this particular moment. Tiny movements. It doesn't have to look a certain way. We're just kind of checking in with the body and repeatedly growing out of the tailbone. You can rock side to side a little bit, feel the weight shifting on your feet, and then tuck your chin and just roll down to the floor. When you arrive, feel this new position, the floor rising up to meet you. And if you would like, you can place your hands in either thigh, just in that groin area, fingertips pointing towards each other, and just press gently away so that you can feel a lengthening through the spine. This should be very gentle. And make sure your hands aren't too high. You need to be pushing down as well as down toward the floor, as well as down toward the end of the mat. And just notice the response from that little action. Breathe and relax, resting into the floor. You can let go of your legs for a moment. Just put your hands out to the sides and feel the length from fingertip to fingertip. Now, we're going to open and close the arms. And you may even cross the arms over your body. We're going to open as we breathe in, like we're holding a big ball. And then we're going to cross the arms and close. So as you're doing this, stay with your breath and also play around a little bit with having lots of tension in the arms as you pull apart versus having kind of just floppy, relaxed arms, and just feel the difference for yourself. Also notice what you feel in the area of the shoulder blades as you open and close, especially as you close. Feel that tissue parting and creating space. Enjoy this. Go at your own pace. You can, of course, rest either open or closed or anywhere in between. And now just give yourself a little hug, and we're going to start to roll. So we're just barely lifting one shoulder. Let the head stay heavy. Everything stays heavy. You're simply rolling from side to side, and feel that floor beneath you and allow it to give you a little massage on your back. You can really feel through the surface of the feet as you go from side to side. And enjoy the hug too, you know. Let's unwrap the arms now. And we're going to start to add, we're going to do the same thing, opening and closing, but we're going to start to add a pelvic tilt. So as you open the arms, you'll be tilting the pelvis down toward the feet so your back will arch. And when you close, your arms will be tilting in the other direction. And again, this can be as big or as little a movement as you care to make it. I love having tension in my arms. It really creates a better sensation for me, but you can play around and see what works best for you. I'm just adding a little crunch here as part of the pelvic tilting as I close the arms, and that's optional as well. And now let's start to extend one foot into space and one arm. So we're going in opposition. As you breathe in, extend opposite arm and leg in whatever angle or direction you choose. Then, of course, here too, it can be really nice to put some flexion. And here too, it can be really nice to have that little bit of tension in the foot, so maybe flexed and at the wrist as well. It just tightens that fascial line and increases the sensation of stretch. So just going side to side, right to left. Let's bring everything back together now and just feel the results, the impact of that. Breathe deeply and release stress, release any residual holding. Preparing now to come into a bridge pose, so bringing the feet a little closer to the buttocks and transferring the weight towards the toes, the balls of the feet, and then lifting, allowing the tail to just float right off the floor, keeping the knees moving in towards each other. They don't have to touch, of course. And if it feels good, maybe raising the arms upward toward the ceiling or even overhead. So whatever works for you. Release this. Coming back to neutral for a moment. Letting everything come back together. And then maybe rolling the head side to side until you can roll to one side, come up. Grab something now for your head. So it can be a bolster, pillow, blanket. We're going to lie on our side. Knees together at about hip height, feet down from the knees. Locate your body in this position. Feel the ground supporting you. Feel balanced so you're neither falling forward or backward. And then when you're ready, begin to reach into the upper corner with your top arm and open to the back. And we're just going to repeat this movement. So reaching forward corner and opening to the back on the exhale. Stay with your breath here. And feel free to allow the upper body to move with the arm. And then let's bring everything to neutral. We're going to add dimensions to this. So now we're going to work with the top leg, reaching forward and then back. And you want to stay at about hip height here, so be careful that the leg doesn't drop down toward the floor. And you can see, as almost always, I have my foot flexed as I go back and forth. Let's now put those two together, so take a little break here. Just notice what you feel. And we'll prepare to reach forward and back. So forward with the arm, back with the leg. One long line from fingertip to toes. And then swinging in the opposite direction with both. I absolutely love this move. It feels so good. You can point and flex the foot or make circles with the ankle and the wrist also. Now staying open, bring that top arm behind the head just to take a little moment of stillness, and then wrap yourself back around and rest. Noticing everything you feel, hopefully lots of yummy sensations. And we'll switch and go to the other side. I'll keep my back to you just so you can see from a different angle. So once again, make sure that your hips and knees are in the same line and your feet are right down from your knees. Making sure you're neither rolling forward or back, and then when you're ready, begin to breathe in and stretch that top arm into the corner. And then roll and open back behind you. You might notice in the video, if you're looking at it, that I am yawning a lot, and that's a really good sign. It means the body is going into its relaxation mode, getting lots of extra oxygen to the brain, improving my memory, and also releasing different toxic chemicals from the body as a result of the yawning. Good. So take a breather, and then we'll continue with the leg going back and forth. So starting, bringing that leg forward, keeping the toes flexed, and keeping that leg at the same height with the hip. Breathing in as you come forward, exhaling as you go back. And actually, there's no hard and fast rule. You could always do the breath in reverse. See what works for you. Okay, let's bring now everything together and take a moment before we reach arm and leg together in opposite directions. Okay, reaching forward with the arm, back with the leg. Those moments of pause, they're so important. The body really integrates so much information when we just give it a chance to be still. More yawns. And then resting everything. And I know what I forgot to do here. So let's open that top arm back behind the head and just take a moment there and then open twist. Breathe as deeply as you can and find new spaces for the breath to occupy. And then taking everything back around and relaxing on your side in neutral. Let's push anything that you had for your head away as we roll onto our backs. And let's have the knees bent here just to feel the results of that practice. What do you notice? What feels different? I have my hands on my belly here, and I'm just really noticing as I breathe that gentle lift and fall of the belly. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll to one side, pushing yourself up with your top arm, head coming up last. We'll come onto all fours. So I have my feet flat. You're welcome to bend your toes back if you prefer. Just come into a child's pose, puppy pose, whatever variation you'd like to feel the full extension of the spine. You can move back and forth if you like between a child's pose and a puppy pose. So you can be creative here. Follow your body. And coming back to all fours. Let's do some just gentle cat-cow movements here. Staying with the breath as you exhale, you're rounding the back upward, and as you bring the chest through, you're inhaling deeply. Now we're going to take one arm at a time and slide it out to the side, bringing the chest toward the floor. You can turn your head to look at the other arm, and then slide that arm back, and then under, resting your cheek on the floor. So we'll be moving between those two places. So sliding the arm out to the side behind you, and then sliding the arm back and under. See if you can twist through more of the upper body and leave the lower back alone. And we're going to switch now, go to the other side. So that arm slides out, behind, and then comes through and under. So your head is looking the same direction, regardless of what the arm is doing. And make sure you're also using your core here, pull in on the corset. Great, and coming back onto all fours for a moment. We will now transition to a kneeling position. So we're going to stand on our knees if that's comfortable. If not, then you can always put something under your knees, roll up your mat so it's doubled up. And we'll take the arms out to the side like we're holding a really big ball. And we're going to open and close. And you can just kind of explore here. You don't have to open and close front to back. You can take the arms overhead or just explore different openings and closings in various positions. You could even, if you wanted to, though I'm not here, is cross your arms when you bring them together over your front like we did on the floor. You can see here I'm kind of tilting into a back extension and then coming forward as well, rounding the spine forward. So it's not that there's a right or wrong way here. Just find what works for you. But just remember that you need to be grounded through your knees because we want to feel really unified. And rest. Stretching the neck side to side a little bit. Here you can take a downward dog if you would like. Finding that pinnacle point of the tailbone upward. Maybe bending one knee at a time here to stretch through the legs. Coming onto the toes can be really nice too, to get a little longer before you come back down to your knees. Moving the weight back and forth a little. Okay, prepare to take one leg forward and then cross it over the other leg and allow it to slide and take you all the way down, rolling onto your back. Legs straight out, or if you'd like to use something under your knees, feel free. We're going to take our Savasana now. First, let's stretch into all corners of the mat. So make yourself a big shining star. You can point and flex the feet. And then come back together to neutral. And rest. Breathe. Feel everything from head to toe. Enjoy the sensations. Enjoy the yumminess. Enjoy a deeper relaxation. I am going to leave you here in a sweet Shavasana so you can luxuriate and take your time. Thanks for joining me for practice today. May you be at peace. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.